Good afternoon, Retreat Church. I just want to take a few moments today in this really little cool spot right here by the fountain, down here by the Yucaipa Performing Arts Center. Not much going on around here these days, but perhaps someday it'll pick back up again. We hope, right? But I want to take you to a passage that I think is pretty interesting when we start thinking about what does it mean to be a smart person? What does it mean to be wise? I think what it means to be wise is to learn to listen. I think the most wisest people in the world, at least that I've known, are people that know how to listen, the people who know how to ask good questions, that understand they don't understand all the time. And when the Proverbs starts out here, we get the why. We get the why the Proverbs were written. Notice, listen very carefully. Starting in verse 1, it says, "The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth." That's why he's doing this. Primarily, he starts out by giving us the reason that he's talking to the simple and to the youth, the people that don't have all of the understanding in the world, right? The simple and the youth. But then he says something else. He gives an invitation. He gives you the purpose that he's writing to the simple and to the youth, but then he gives you this invitation, and it kind of turns around a little bit. Verse 5 says, "Let the wise," now, wait a minute, I thought we were talking about the simple and the youth. Now he's inviting the wise. Listen carefully. "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles." You see, I think what we're experiencing here, first of all, is he's telling us why he's doing this. He's saying, you know what, people of simple mind, young people, need direction. They need wisdom. They need to learn how to listen and follow sound guidance. And then he invites people, he says, let the wise, now we're talking about the wise people. And for me, this helps me because it brings together and it tells me that if I want to be a wise person, whether or not I'm simple, young, not so young, he tells me that if I want to be a wise person, then I have to hear and increase in learning. And I have to gain guidance. And I have to learn to understand proverbs and wise sayings. And I think these days, we all can use a dose of listening, a dose of getting some advice. I think there's enough people running around saying that they know everything. I think there's enough people running around in all arrogance, complaining about people and claiming that they know what we should or should not be doing, that they have all the answers. You know, I found in my life, maybe this will be helpful for you, that he with no experience has all the answers. Have you ever noticed that? And once you get some experience under your belt, once you live for a few seasons, once you get some experience, you realize that you don't have all the answers. You realize that you don't know everything you thought you knew. And you know, one of the most dangerous positions to be in life is to not know what you don't know. That's a very, very, very scary spot. I found that a lot of freshmen in high school, they're in that position. A lot of freshmen in college are in that position. A lot of young pastors with no experience, they think they know how to do everything. A lot of young parents who haven't had kids much more than a month, well, they think they know everything. People that have been married less than a year, for sure, they know everything. But if we're going to really take to heart this purpose and this invitation, I think you need to go and start right here at verse 7. Because verse 7 says this: the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. So you look at the three people that are mentioned here, the three types of people, or actually the four types of people: the simple, the youth, the wise, and the fool. Where do you stand today? If you're simple, it's okay. The Proverbs are for us. If you're young and inexperienced, that's amazing. Proverbs for you. If you're wise, you have a few years and some experience under your belt, still room to increase in learning and find guidance. And it all starts with the fear of the Lord. I'm not talking about being scared of God. I'm talking about having a healthy reverence for God. If we would all just start right there, whether you're learning how to parent, whether you're learning how to be married, whether you're learning about new seasons and new careers, whether we're learning about what is going on in our world, may we start right there today. May you start with the fear of the Lord, and may it be the beginning of new knowledge for you, new understanding for you. And I pray that none of you listening to this today are acting like fools, despising wisdom and instruction. God bless you. We'll see you next time.